All right, Shalom. And first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. And peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopefully elect, as well as the sincere that believe in the gospel, may endure to the end, Lord willing. All right. And, just real quick, I just wanted to get into another quick lesson, all right, on the importance of studying, okay? And Lord willing to be edifying, all right? Now, it says, what is the most important factor in successful learning? It says the intention to desire to learn, all right, in which, the things that, we learn, all right, in the world, all right, that's actually a good help to you, all right, or, something that you can use towards the truth, you use it, man, all right? And which these worldly things that we apply to the truth, all right, ultimately help us become better work masters, all right? Because we working for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right? So it says the intention and desire to learn, all right? Paying close attention to the material as you study, all right? In which, first and foremost, the notes, all right, that you do take, you take them to the best of your ability, all right, and take them in ways that you understand it, all right? We a brother, take his notes, it's going to be different from the way you take your notes because you understand things differently, all right? And that's a form of paying close attention, all right? Because if you're not paying attention, you're not going to take good notes, man, all right? And which ultimately the notes reflect on the way you teach, obviously. So it's imperative, to take good notes, all right? It says, what I just said, it says learning in a way that matches your own learning style, all right? So it might be a particular elders or apostles or brothers that do lessons, and you might be, hip to the way that they teach, all right? Which may help the way that you study, okay? It may help the way that you take down your notes, all right? Every brother gonna have, a different style, all right? A different way that they do things, all right? So you just follow what's best for you, all right? It says in the time that you spend studying, okay? So the time that you spend studying, okay? Let me, I'll start off with that one. All right, now this is the book of Sirach, all right, is in a GNT, all right, a Good News translation. All right, it says, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 24. It says, scholars must have time to study if they are going to be wise, all right, in which, the men of the Lord, all right, the prophets and the teachers, they have to make time, all right? You have to make time for the truth, man. All right, you have to make time to study. All right? Even when you don't got it. All right, you got to get up earlier in the morning, all right, to study, or you got to sacrifice later at night to study. All right? It says, verse 24, it says, scholars must be wise. Salakia, scholars must have time to study if they're going to be wise. They must be relieved of other responsibilities. All right, in which, when you actually come into this thing, in the King James Version, it said, he that had little business shall become wise. All right, you got to put away those things that, nothing wrong with hobbies, of course, but, you just got to make sure that your time of leisure, all right, those couple of hours throughout the day that, you spend studying, all right, then all of those hobbies or different things that you like to do, it comes after, all right, if you can, all right. It says, how can a farm hand gain knowledge when his only ambition is to drive the oxen and make them work, when all he knows to talk about is livestock, ? Okay, it says he takes great pains to plow a straight furrow and will work far into the night to feed the animals. It is the same with the artists and the craftsmen who work night and day engraving precious stones, carefully working out new designs. They take great pains to produce a lifelike image and will work far into the night to finish the work, all right? And so basically, in order to become good at something, all right, you have to keep working at it, all right? And which ultimately, studying makes you a better, because we study to teach, okay? We don't study just to study forever, all right? Like Apostle Tahar, he always say, you study, and after a time of studying, all right, and taking notes, you come up on a level, all right, to be able to teach others, all right? That's what, one of the main things that you come into this truth to do, all right? And which ultimately, that's part of growing, okay? You study for a period, and then you start to teach, all right? And with that repetition of teaching, all right, you become better, all right? Because just because you're teaching, that don't mean you stop studying, all right? A part of importance of studying, all right, it makes you a better teacher, all right? You can edify more, So I think that was the point in that. Let me get this 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15. All right, it says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right, and that's ultimately, the reason that you want to put your best foot forward, all right, in this truth, man. All right, because you want to show yourself approved to the Most High. All right, you want to show him that, look, Lord, I'm doing my best I can. All right, you don't want to not put your best foot forward, man. All right, studying, all right, teaching, it all goes hand in hand. All right, doing the work all goes hand in hand. All right, with showing yourself approved to the Most High. All right, I read it in NLT. All right, it says, work hard so that you can present yourself to the Most High and receive his approval. Okay, because the Lord knows, all right, whether you are studying or giving your diligence, all right, to the best of your abilities, man. All right, the Lord knows, okay? And whether you're doing enough or doing too little, the Lord, he'll let you know, all right? He'll move, through the Spirit, all right? And, it's just a way the Lord deal, all right? You'll feel yourself if you're just doing too much, all right? You're just studying and watching lessons and videos, and, scripture speak about that in the Ecclesiastes in the Bible, man. All right? Not over studying, all right, but having a balance to things. You see? It says, be a good worker, one who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly explains the word of truth. All right, because when you're teaching, this is to myself first and foremost, all right, because when you're teaching things, all right, you want to make sure that you're teaching first and foremost the correct doctrine, all right? Myself, before some things that I'm not too confident in, but I know the information, I may have to go watch a video, all right, to build my faith up, my confidence, all right, because the word confidence it just means with faith, all right, to double down, all right, make sure that I'm correct, that's just me, all right, and sometimes, nothing wrong with doing that, man, just to make sure you're on point, because you never know, who can see your video, all right, and they may not grasp what you're saying, all right, if you don't explain it correctly, all right. That's why it says one who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly explains the word of truth, all right, not going off on the doctrine either, because there's many false prophets that have gone out into the world, man, all right. But ultimately, if you studying and showing yourself approved to the Most High, all right, starting, all right, with learning from the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, okay, who are rightly dividing the word of truth, All right. Let's get that word rightly divide, because that's also a huge part in studying and teaching. All right, having a correct doctrine. All right. It says
Strong's G 3718 orthotameo.
All right. It says I get to the point. It says in the second definition, it says to make straight and smooth, to handle aright, to teach the truth directly and correctly. All right. So when you study to show yourself approved, all right, and come up on a level that you can teach, you got to make sure you're teaching directly and correctly, man. All right. That's another way you show yourself approved to the Most High, whose name is Yahweh. Okay. Because if you're not teaching this truth directly and correctly, all right, and the Lord's not dealing with you, man. All right. Or studying the right truth. Okay. The Lord's not dealing with you if you're not teaching directly and correctly, all right, the word of truth. Okay. So, and that's pretty much it. I think I had one more. All right, it's just a quick lesson. I was just meditating on my ride home. Just the importance, man, of studying. Because it helps you out in all aspects, man. All right. Now, this is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 10. All right. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. If ye do these things, ye shall never fail, or shall never fall. Salakia. All right. And let's get this word diligence. All right. Because a part of studying is ultimately looking up words, man. All right. You reading words and you don't know what they mean, just look them up and you'll find out. All right. Now, this is the word diligence.
Strong's G 4704 Spudazo.
All right, spudazo. All right, to hasten, to make oneself. All right, to exert oneself. Endeavor, give diligence. All right, to exert yourself. All right, you gotta, like I said earlier, put that best foot forward, man. You can't be lackadaisical. All right, and not exerting yourself. All right, you got to give that diligence to make your calling and election sure. All right, because if you're actually studying, all right, watching lessons, all right, getting breakdowns, you've been called, man. Because that's how majority of brothers have their different stories of things that happen. All right, but a phase that each brother goes through, all right, is listening, learning, taking notes, and studying. Okay. It says to make an effort, all right, to labor, to study, all right, be diligent, forward, okay, give diligence, okay, to make your calling and election sure, all right, in which, after, like Apostle Ramlab did a lesson a while back, you're not part of the elect if you're not growing, all right. A part of giving diligence is actually growing in this thing, man. You have to grow. You can't remain the same, And if you're not growing, you're not a part of the elect. If you're not giving your diligence to make your calling and election sure, you will fall. All right? So, that's a lot. Yeah, so, that's just something that's required of us in this truth. All right, giving diligence, man. All right, it says in the NLT, all right, on the left side, it says so dear brothers and sisters, work hard to prove that you really are among those the Most High has called and chosen. All right, you have this. It's not a fly by night thing, man. All right, the Lord tries you. All right. And puts different afflictions upon you, all right, infirmities, all right, just to see if you're really about this word, man, all right, if you're really diligent, It says, do these things and you will never fall away. All right. So we just got to keep continuing in the things that thou has learned. All right. Let me get that. I'm going to end it off on that one. Let me see. Yeah, this is 2 Timothy 3:14. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. All right. Learning them from the elders. All right. The apostles. All right. Different brothers, camp heads, It's 2 Timothy 3:14. Yeah, it says in the NLT, but you must remain faithful to the things you have been taught. You know that they are true, for you know you can trust those who taught you. All right? So, you just continue in the things that you learn, man. All right? Making your calling and election sure. All right? Giving diligence so that you don't fall. All right? Because the moment that you stop giving your diligence, all right, that you stop studying, all right, to show yourself approved, all right, then you're going to fall, man. All right? So, just continue in the things that thou has learned, man. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors once again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. Until next time, I'll say shalom.